Hello and welcome back. I hope you have successfully initiated the project. Now in this lesson we are going to develop the authentication system for our DApp where the user can log into your DApp using the wallet. Alright, let's jump back to the HTML file. First things first, we need a sweet title of our project. Let's give it as a My Storage DApp. Let's make it stand out with the text 3XL class so that it will look like a big title. Then give it a margin of top 8, center it, and add some green color popping through. Next, let's create a div where we can add our button. We wanna make this div a flex and add some top margin to it. We will make sure the items are centered both horizontally and vertically, and then give it the ID login-body. We will be using this ID in the main.js file. Don't worry if you are not getting the classes, just follow me and you will be able to build this. Now let's add the button login. We will give it some style with padding on the horizontal and vertical, and then make it rounded so that it looks beautiful, and add some blue color and white text. And we will also add some sweet hover effects. When we will hover it, it will turn to a darker color. And lastly, we will add some animation classes. Now our login button is ready. We will also need another div with ID DApp body. This will be hidden as it's where our DApp UI will be present. When the user logins, this div will be visible and the login button will disappear. So we are making it so that when user is logged in, the div with the ID login body will be hidden and the DApp body will be visible. When the user isn't logged in, it will be the other way around. Next up, we will add a div to print out the user's connected account's address. We will use a span element to print it. And also we have to give some ID to this. So let's give it ID of user-address. Let's make it flex and center it horizontally with some vertical margins of 8 each, top and bottom. Alright, we are almost there, but one thing we forgot is that the login button needs an ID too. We will add the ID login-button and check it out. Make sure your server is running in the command prompt or terminal, whatever it is, and visit the localhost in the browser. So far, it looks pretty damn good, right? Now we just need to add some functionality to that login button in the main.js file. Now back to the main.js file. Let's start by initializing the connection first. We will store the instance of the initialized connection in the constant called connects. This connects will accept two parameters, node and network. Since we are using the testing network, the network will obviously be the test, and for the node, we will use the testnet public node. If you are using your local node, you can add that here. Now let's define the login button we have created in the HTML. This can be done by using the query selector method and then passing the ID of that element. Once this is done, let's add an event listener to it. This on-click event will be triggered when we click on the button. Also, this is an arrow function, and let's make it as asynchronous with async. Inside the arrow function, we need to define a message object. This object will be then passed in the sign function as a parameter. We will understand it once we build it. One thing to consider is that you should know that there are two API methods available in the connects. The first one is thaw and the second one is vendor. Connects.thaw and connects.vendor are both APIs provided by vChain for developers to interact with the blockchain. However, they have different functionalities. The connects.thaw, the first one, is used to interact with the VeChain Thor blockchain directly. It provides methods for sending transactions, querying the blockchain status, etc. And on the other hand, connects.vendor is used to sign the certificates and transactions. This does not allow for sending transactions or making accounts and keys. We will use connects.thaw when we interact with the smart contract. If you want to explore more API methods from Connects, you can visit the VeChain documentation. Here is the function that we are using for identifying the user. Now back to the main.js file. Once we receive the response, we need to add a condition like if the response is not received, we can add an alert that says wallet not found. By the way, by default, if the wallet is not found, it will suggest the sync to wallet to install. But let it be. Then if the response is available, we will extract the address from the response and toggle the login and DApp body. This can be done by normal JavaScript functions like entirely renaming the class or removing some class from the class list. This will hide the login button and show the user address body. Now to print the user address, we can use the inner HTML on the element. That's it. Now let's check if this is working or not, or if we have made any mistake. Make sure your app is running in the command prompt or terminal, and then get back to the browser and click on the login button. Now this will ask us to sign the certificate. Click on the sign and proceed. You can see that as soon as you sign, we have an address printed in our DApp. Let's cross check if this is the same address from the wallet. And looks like they are same. So congratulations, you have successfully developed the authentication system for connecting users to our first VeChain DApp. Now in the next lesson, let's see how to interact with the smart contract using connects that we have just initialized. See you in the next lesson.